Hey, what's up guys? In today's Back to Basics video, we're going to be teaching you one of the fundamental skills of mountain biking. You're sure to be loving back wheel after this video. So let's go back to basics and how to manual. So a manual refers to rolling with only your back wheel on the ground. This is using your balance, not by pedaling. If you're looking for how to wheelie, which is when you're seated, pedaling, keeping that front end in the air, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, which we'll be covering in a future video. But for now, we're going to be focusing on the manual. This is a super fun trick, really useful trail technique that you can have in your repertoire to make some of the more monotonous flat sections of trail a little bit more fun, to link up rollers together, or just to show off to your friends. So let's get into how you set up your bike for how to manual. The easiest kind of bikes to learn on are going to be ones without rear suspension. So if you've got a dirt jump bike or a BMX in your shed at home, it's time to dust that thing off and put that to the test. But if you've got a full suspension mountain bike at home, there are a few things that you can do just to make it a little bit easier to learn on. Of course, you're going to want to go back to your original settings when you do go back out and hit the trails. But to start with, on your full suspension, what I would recommend is airing up that rear tire a little bit. So taking it from, say, 28 PSI, which would be your typical trail riding pressure, up to more like 35 PSI. Just to help things roll a little bit easier and to also make it easier to keep your balance as you go. Squirmy rear tire really just makes it hard to keep things going in a straight line when you're trying to balance on that back wheel. You can also add a little bit of pressure to your rear shock. And then finally, make sure you slam your seat post nice and low in the frame, just give yourself plenty of clearance to balance. I find that it's a good idea to fit flat pedals to your bike to learn these kind of tricks. It'll make it a lot more confident for you to get off of the bike if, say, you loop out the manual. And it also means that you're not developing any bad habits by using the clipping mechanism on your pedals to aid you in your technique at all. And of course, make sure that you are adequately protected. You want a good helmet on your head just in case you loop off the back, and make sure you stay safe there. And also a good quality set of knee pads are going to help keep you feeling confident in case you do end up hitting the ground. And last but not least, make sure you've got a good working rear brake. This is going to be an important safety feature that keeps you from looping off the back of the bike. And also you're going to want to identify the bite point on that brake. So feel where that pads start to contact the rotor and really just teach your finger where that point is going to be. And you can even start off your manual practice by keeping your finger with that bite point in mind at all times, slightly pressing in that brake lever. So as soon as you pull it on, you're going to hit that rear brake and drop the front end back down to the ground. So now that we've got the bike set up out of the way, let's talk about the first steps of teaching you how to manual. So the ideal spot to learn how to manual is going to be a flat or at least slightly down the hill, straight and smooth path. So that can be hard grass, that can be tarmac, or a slightly gravel path like we've got here. And that'll help you really just find repeatable results and just makes it a little bit easier to keep your balance because there's less kind of rough stuff offsetting you as you go. Your first step is going to be figuring out how to get the front wheel of your mountain bike up and off the ground. For this, there's a number of different ways that you can attack it, but the way that I've found the most effective is what I'd like to call the scoop technique. While you may be inclined just to focus on pulling up on that front end, that's not going to put your body weight in the right position. Instead, start from a relaxed attack position, stood up on the pedals. Then you're going to want to preload the bike and simultaneously straighten your arms and scoop the front end as you drive your hips backwards on the bike. This is going to shift your body weight backwards towards the rear axle while using the fork to preload and pop your front end off the ground, putting you around about the right spot in the balance point for a manual. So what do I mean about the balance point? The balance point is the position where your body weight relative to the bike is going to keep the bike perfectly up on its back wheel. Too far forwards with your body weight and the front wheel will just drop straight to the ground, and too far backwards, you're going to loop out and have a bit of fun there. So finding the key point to balance your weight on the bike is vital to ensuring you're able to keep the manual in the right position. Let me illustrate you what I mean by that balance point on the bike. And then it's all about using your hips and your legs to push the bottom bracket of the bike effectively fore and aft in front of you to change your balance on the bike, to change where your weight is positioned to keep your balance point in the correct place. We'll cut to some slow-mo here where you'll see me modulating that balance point with my feet, just making tiny micro adjustments and really just going by feel at that point. Let's put these tips into action on the trail or path. So starting off, scoop into the balance point and then just using the feet and the hips to modulate the balance point. Not bad, not bad, could be better. So now it's just on you to keep on hitting the trail or your local path, smooth bit of road, whatever, local car park even, and keeping on practicing and giving it a go. It does take a little while sometimes to feel out that balance point, so don't be disheartened. Keep on trying, keep on experimenting with different amounts of scoop to get you towards that balance point. Chances are, if you've not tried this before, you're probably not scooping it quite hard enough. So keep on going, keep on pushing it. Be prepared to hop off the back of the bike if you do feel yourself starting to go. And yeah, in time, I promise you, you'll get there. Once you are there and you're starting to get the manual consistently on a smooth, straight bit of path, then it's time to hit your local trails. And when you hit the trail, that's when the manual can really come in handy, both as a way to link between different obstacles, to manual over a tabletop instead of clearing it if you're going too slow, turning some disappointment into some fun and style, or just, yeah, generally clearing yourself through up a step, whatever. Just getting that front wheel up, being on that balance point can be really helpful, and is also a great way to have fun on mellower sections of trail. And be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out more of the Back to Basics series where you give you tutorials on how to improve your mountain biking. Thank you for watching, guys. Catch you out on the trails.